Hello and welcome to Inside the Atlantic 10. I'm Shae Peppler, and we're just over 2 weeks away from Selection Sunday. To discuss the A-10, let's bring in our insider, Chris DiSano. And Chris, 4 teams tied for first place in the conference. Who would you put your money on at this point in the season?
Yeah, it's a freak show in the Atlantic 10, as it has been all season. We had a 4-way tie last week. We've got another one now. But I'm still going to lean towards the prohibitive favorite, VCU. They've done a nice job rebounding after the loss of Briante Weber, who really spearheads that Havoc defense. Jaquan Lewis has stepped in and also done a nice job, an admirable job offensively for them. They also have tightened things up in their half-court defense, which was an area of concern earlier in the year. They're going to be tested. They've got games with Dayton and then at Davidson before they finish with Mason. But right now, I'm going to lean towards Shaka and his crew.
Well, 2 of these top teams are going to go at it this weekend. VCU, one of the teams you just talked about, they host Dayton. As we know, Chris, the Flyers down to just 6 scholarship players. You follow this team closely. How have they been able to handle it with an almost non-existent bench?
Yeah, talking with program sources, it really has been a balancing act for them. At practice in particular, you can't have the same competitive mindset with 5-on-5s. And so they've had to try to do competitive drills that keep that mindset keen as they head into games, but yet conserve their energy. So when they have to play that 40 minutes, they can do so effectively. They are grinding through the season. It's been a little bit tougher for them lately, but they're going to lean on Dyshawn Pierre heavily, who's just been immense lately. And as long as they can continue to take care of things on the boards and keep that energy level up, they're going to be right there till the end.
Such a great story this college basketball season. Let's now hit the Rams, Chris. Rhode Island, another team you followed closely, coming off a close one at Davidson, but this defense has really been impressive. 17th in the nation in total defense.
You're right, Shae. They are an elite defensive team, and not just in the Atlantic 10, but nationally. They get out and guard on the perimeter as disruptively as any team you will find. A couple of weeks ago, they were right there in the metrics with UVA, and everybody knows what Bennett's team can do down there in Charlottesville. Hurley's team is very physical on the perimeter. They have 4 guards who get up into you. They basically cut your ignition switch, and they make it very difficult for teams. Teams have had to completely abandon their offenses and just try to drive the ball against this team. And that defense will carry Rhode Island and is something they can fall back on when they get to Brooklyn.
Yeah, speaking of Brooklyn, A-10 tournament right around the corner. Outside of the teams we've discussed, give me a team you would not want to face in Brooklyn and why.
Well, I'll tell you what, I saw him last night, Davidson. I do not want to face Davidson. With Jack Gibbs back, he stirs the drink for them. He's such an exceptional guard, changes speeds very well, involves his teammates, and we know he's a big shot maker, as he's proven on so many occasions. The most recent of which was that dagger 3 last night against Rhode Island to win the game. They're a team that spaces you and shreds you out there. They're very difficult to prepare for, and they have a bevy of shooters. And I don't care how well you defend, if a team is on, they're on. And Davidson is the type of team that can knock down 12 threes on you. And regardless of what you're bringing into the game, if they do that, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and momentum on their side on a 6-game win streak. Chris DiSano, thanks so much for the insight. I'll talk to you soon.
You got it. Thank you.
Switching gears to baseball, spring training underway, and the George Washington baseball team is looking rather hairy. See, head coach Greg Ritchie had a strict shave policy, but after a slow start to the last 2 years, he flipped the script, told his team not to shave until further notice. So we have a very bearded Colonials team heading into spring. Interesting stuff. That'll do it for this edition of Inside the A-10. I'm Shae Peppler. We'll see you next time.